Hi, my name is Emily, and this is the Delight It's podcast. I have no idea what episode this is. I want to say it's around 50-ish, but we're just going to go with it. Today is Sunday, May 19th of 2024, and I'm here to talk about all that I have been knitting on for the last month. It's been a month since I podcasted last, which is just the nature of life right now. And it's fine. So I've got, everything should be linked down below. I've got Instagram, Ravelry, I think I've got Ravelry project pages for most of this stuff. I've recently updated some of my projects to have pictures. I took one day a couple weeks ago to get all of those taken and done, finally. So you should see more pictures of some of my previous finished projects. I probably still need to update them with these, but that'll get done eventually again. So yeah, we're outside today, so you can enjoy all the birds and the locusts that are insanely loud. But it's just what works with the kids sleeping in the house or having quiet time and laundry going and all that. So I actually have almost four finished objects, and one WIP to talk about today. We'll talk about the first finished object. I'll have to pop in a picture because it was a sample for Addy of Ruby and Rose's yarn. She's a new collection. She's not yet released or even like started posting pictures of, and that she wanted swatches and samples for. So I have done all the swatches. I've got 2 more to do, and they're all mailed off. I'm not really counting those as finished objects. They take less than 20-30 minutes to do, and that includes weaving in the ends. So I will have knit 20 of those. I've got 2 more to do. That's fine. But I also knit her into the Bloom Cowl, and I used 150 grams, so it was 15 10-gram minis. And I'll pop the pictures here. And so I did alter the pattern a little bit as she requested to make the patterns for 10-gram minis. So I changed it up a little bit to fit in the 15. And all of my notes are in that Ravelry project page, which I will link. So I'm excited to see how she shows that off and all of that. But it was an enjoyable knit. I really enjoy that pattern. It's textured all the way throughout. Yeah. So my next finished object is a pair of socks. I actually brought my sock blockers out today. These are what I called, I think, my swatch Scrappy socks, because a lot of these were from previous swatches that I've knit that I frogged and put into here. So the top, and they match. I always split my scraps into half. I weigh it and split it in half so I can have matching Scrappy socks, except for there's 2 lines. So these 2 are obviously different, and then this one is different because those weren't enough to split, obviously. So this top one is from my swatch for the Allie's sweater fingering weight that I test knit. These, I think it's this pink, this pink, this pink, and this speckled are from a test swatch that I ended up redoing for the Yarn Area Islands collection for Ruby and Rose's. I don't remember what these were from. Maybe they were just leftovers from other, I know they're Ruby and Rose's, but I don't remember what they are. I don't remember the name of this one, but I had a swatch knit up in that one as well that I needed to redo. Or maybe that was just a little bit left over from, I think that was actually a little bit left over from the cardigan pattern I did for the little girl at our church. And the rest I think were just leftovers. So yeah, I knit my socks 64 stitches, 2x2 rib for, I just finished out the blue. Usually I do 20-ish rounds. And then I don't remember how long I did. I finished out the pink and then added in the slip stitch heel flap and gusset. And I use a US 0 2mm 9-inch circular needle. And then I switched to magic loop for the toes because it's just the easiest thing. I do the weave in as you go method with this, so it does like, it's somewhat noticeable. You can see how it's like almost like you're slipping a stitch, but it's because of the yarns underneath it, and then sometimes it'll pop out and you can see through it, so do it at your own risk. But for socks, I don't care, it's fine if it pops through. So like this right here, you can see it's popping through, the blue's popping through that pink. I don't care, you just tug it and they'll help a little bit. But yeah, these haven't been worn or washed or blocked or anything. I don't block my socks, they'll be fine. So one pair done. I've actually knit quite a bit more socks this year than I did last year, I think. So they've been a good scrap buster because I've knit quite a bit of the Scrappy socks this year. My next finished object is my Easy V by Caitlyn Hunter. I have not woven the ends yet, have not blocked it. I found it off Friday night, so I'll slip it on over this tank top right now. I've had some trouble with this. It's my first worsted weight. It's ZZ Textiles 100% non-superwash worsted. I pretty much have knit this twice. The first time I knit it with the needles recommended in the pattern, which I think the main body is a US 4, and my fingering weight sweaters, a lot of them I've knit on a US 4, so that gauge was, it was a stiff fabric. And so I had knit the entire body and knit the sleeves, and I ran out of yarn before it was done, and it was so stiff I didn't like it. I knew I wasn't gonna wear it, and so I ended up frogging the entire thing and re-knitting it. I went down, I used a US 4 for the ribbing and then a US 5 for everything else, and the fabric is so much better. It's still kind of stiff. I could have probably gone up one more size, but when I did go up a needle size, I went down a size in the pattern. So this is the smallest size in the pattern. I did short sleeves because that's all the yarn I had. I had 2 skeins of the mahogany, and then the yellow is cadmium yellow, the green is cypress, and the pink is butterfly bush, and I still have quite a bit left of each of those. Yeah, as I'm wearing this, I'm actually kind of quite enjoying it. I love the sleeve length. The body length is pretty good, so there's my waistband, so it'll be great to wear to work. I'm excited to seeing it blocked. I do like the neckline a little bit. We'll see if, I feel like it's gonna be one that'll easily like off the shoulder, which I think is what a lot of people style it as. Yeah, let's see, get my hair out of the way. So it is like this in the front and back. There are short rows after the color work. Yeah, I think it is a yoke design, so like I am not a fan of yoke designs because of that. Like it's all bunching up, and you have like a bunch of this right here. I would prefer raglans because I don't do that as much, but that's just my preference. But I'm this truck going by, I apologize. Oh, never mind, it's a 4-wheeler. When you live in very small town Arkansas, people drive by in their 4-wheelers and Rangers all the time. And we're probably one of those too. Okay, so now that that loud vehicle is gone, I don't know if I will knit a worsted weight sweater or anything again. I might just stick with DK because we are in Arkansas. It is May and it's probably going to be 90 degrees today. Right now it's not too bad in the shade, but this afternoon is going to be miserable. So here is that finished object. I enjoy it. I did decrease on the sleeves after I picked up more than what the pattern had said, because I like that closer cutting fit for when I'm doing my cuff. Hope it will relax and do a little bit better, but we'll see. So this is my last finished object, and it is the Easy V by Caitlyn Hunter. And I cast this on, like, when was it? Maybe it was right after Thanksgiving. It's been a long time, and so I'm very happy to have it done. So that is that. My next two projects you have not even seen. One of them is literally, I have half of a bind off left to do. So let me grab those before I put this back in my bag and bury them. Got lots of end weaving in to do soon. So my next project is my V-back tee. Lots of V's happening today. So my V-back tee, I don't know who it's by off the top of my head. It is the pattern for the Arkansas Yarn Co. Arkansas Yarn Crawl. What a mouthful. Every year they choose, Lori and the girls at Arkansas Yarn Co. choose a sweater tank top tee pattern for everybody to knit, and they take a group picture together. So this will be the 3rd year that I'm doing it. And the Arkansas Yarn Crawl encompasses 2 weekends, so it's like a full week plus a weekend. And I think they do it for both weekends. So I knit the 5th size in this. If you watch We Share Needles, Maddie kind of goes off on a rant about this pattern, and we'll just say I agree with her thoughts. It's not a very plain pattern. There's always something going on, which is fine. I used, let's see, I've got my tapestry needle because it is a tubular bind off. Let's see if I can tuck that in there. Okay, so here it is. See, I've got half of it on needles, half of it not. I will try it on here in a second. I used the leftovers times 2 from my fade that I had set out for my Radvent cardigan. I did not, like, I only went from the greens into the blues, and I was about to start into the purples. And here's the purples to the pinks to the browns and yellows, and now it's going into the tans, and I still have stuff left over. I have knit 1 shawl, 1 sweater, full length sweater, 1 cardigan, and now another tee out of 2 advents, and I can still have some more. Probably a whole nother tee. I may try and see what I can get out of it. I will have to add a little bit of something else, but that's perfectly fine. I'm loving stretching those advents every little bit. So the V-back tees got a front side, which is the scoop neck, and then you've got the back, which is a V. And so my one complaint is all these short rows, and when you change colors, it does not, and it's not anything about the pattern, it's just the way you can get it to length. If not, you'll have an outrageously long point. But it's the fade on the back, or the front, whichever, on the V side. On the back, it's not so bad. There they go by again. So here is the front slash back. Yeah, let me put it on. Let's put it on. I think I'll wear it with the V on the front. And a lot of people that I have watched or heard talk about this pattern, I think are the same way. Let's hope I don't think I have end stoppers with me. Let's hope I don't pull these off the needle. Beep. One end and one end, we're good. Okay. No, I just did it. Grab these real quick. Okay, almost done. Sit here picking those up. Ooh. I've got to finish this tubular today. Okay. There we go. Ooh, fit it. So the 5th size is what I'm knitting. I usually wear smalls. I think I'm like a 32, 33 bust or around, depending on the day. This bunching right here, I'm not a fan of. It happens on both sides, but it'll be okay. So here it is. It will block out a little longer. Yeah, that's what I'm not a fan of. And I think Maddie was trying to talk on the We Share Needles podcast that I watched yesterday or the day before. Maddie was trying to talk to Kristen about that difference right here where that short rows are. So Kristen, that's what yours is going to look like. And if you change colors, because I used my Advent leftovers the way I did not change colors. I didn't even pay attention to the color changing options in the pattern. There are, like, you have the solid option, you have, I think there's a 2 color, 3 color, 4 color, and 5 color option, and it tells you exactly where to fade. I didn't even read those instructions because I knew I wasn't going to do them. You can kind of tell in this one, I alternated rows, like I did the easy alternator method, that I think Professor Pearl has a Instagram reel about. You literally just drop one, and instead of holding it to the back, you hold it to the front. It works out. It was a little changing colors like that on the short rows was different, so I did down and back, and then on the knit side, when I passed the beginning of the round marker, I always changed my color there. So my short rows are 2 color stripes. That's all I really have to say about this. It is like a yoke increase, but because of the V-neck like this, when I flip it around, it increases here. You're always increasing here, and then no matter what throughout the yoke, and then you start increasing here and decreasing on the sides. I don't know if you could see it. Yeah, you can see that line there where it goes from the slant to the straight. I don't know. I feel like it's a good pattern. I wouldn't say a great pattern. There could be other ways to do it. And if you want to design your own pattern like that or find another V-neck, that's up to you. Maybe something we can look for in the future. I like figuring out that kind of stuff. So let me see if I can flip this around without taking the needles off. Starting to get a little warm. So this is how the pattern is intended to wear. So you can see that purple ends so much sooner. Yeah, I am not a fan of that bunching. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. We will see. But, okay, so that one's good. And that one's good there. Let's see if I can stick it through. Okay, so here is that front side. You can see where I alternated every 2 rows here. And that there. So, I don't know. We'll see if I get wear out of this after the yarn crawl. I do like how my fade turned out. I have greatly enjoyed that. Working with both of those Advents in all of these projects. When I got to the sleeves, I split each cake in half, kind of exactly how I was doing my Advent, because that was knit side to side in. So I did that same exact thing, or no, because I had to do it down here, I split it based off of the stitches, the total stitches. So I had, if you want to know how, you can message me and I'll tell you how to do it. It's easy math, but not worth explaining here. So yeah, I will wear this the other way. This is like a super high neckline right now. Yeah, that's this project. and it should be finished this time. Maybe I'll have it blocked by the next time I have my podcast, which may be 2 weeks, and maybe 3 weeks, and maybe a month. We'll see. My goal is 2 weeks, but it might be a month. So that's that project. Let me get that done to where I'm not gonna lose stitches there or there. Let's take this off. It's warming up. I feel like I'm gonna lose them. I might see if I have end stoppers real quick. So I feel like I'm going to lose these stitches. Somewhat of end stoppers. They might be too big for this project. Let's see, maybe I need to purchase some more end stoppers. I did do the weave in as you go method while knitting this. When you have this many ends, that's just my go-to. Which here, now it's inside out. You can see, got some ends. Where are they all? Actually, you can't, as soon as I ran out, I didn't always change it at the beginning of the round. I just knit until it was done and then added it in. So let's see, like you can see here, they're all over the place. They do loosen up over time, so I've got quite a bit just like hanging out there, but not that bad. So there is that project. I've still got the needle here in my bra strap. That will hopefully be done tonight. I believe that's everything I need to say about this one. One more and it's not even much to do. Stick that in there. I love a tubular bind off and the looks of it and the tubular cast on, but it just takes forever. And it's something like you can't really, I like to watch TV or do something while I'm knitting, and I wanted to watch the Bridgerton that came out this week, and I could not watch, like actually watch the screen and do a tubular bind off, so I had to do something else. My next whip is a sock whip. I don't remember what brand this yarn is. I bought it at Knit Unto Others, which is my local yarn store in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, last year. And I took the label off to cast on some socks I think before Christmas, and ended up not doing those socks. But it's a very rustic wool. It's not opal, it's not regia, but I assume it's something similar. So I did my 64 stitches. This one I did 30 rounds of knit 2 purl 2, and I just do a long tail cast on, and then I've just started knitting. I needed some plain knitting yesterday that I actually did not end up touching really. Didn't get to knit as much as I had hoped to yesterday, but that's okay. 9-inch circulars, US 0. That's it. It's another sock. Let's see what else. So I've got 2 more swatches to do for Ruby and Rose's new collection that's coming out. That I've got one that I received yesterday, and then another skein should come in tomorrow, and so I'm going to get those finished ASAP and get them mailed out. And then I also have another sample coming in. I think that yarn's coming in tomorrow as well, but that one is for Rachel of ZZ Textiles, and I think it is the Meridian, which is a dress. It's going to be using DK and Surrey, and so I'm excited to start that. That is a very, I think it's an all textured sweater. She's getting it sample knit for Flock. I'm knitting, if you're wondering where I'm looking. She's getting that sample made for Flock, and so it needs to be done by like late July. So that will probably be the only thing that I knit on here shortly, which is why I want to get that bind off done. And then I just have this as a grab and go project. Like yesterday we spent all day at our camp, our deer camp river property that my husband's family owns, and we were working on some things. So that's why I cast this on, but I ended up not really sitting around and knitting all that much. Usually I am the one who sits around and watches the kids, but they're all getting older to where I can actually go help do work instead of always attending to the kids, which has been a great thing as they've gotten older. So that's all that's coming up and been going on. And yeah, I'm about to go start some laundry and clean up the house and just do normal Sunday things before church. We gotta leave for church. Maybe we'll spend some time outside. Got to wash the vehicles today. So I hope everybody has had a good start to their warm, hot season. If you're in the northern hemisphere, right? And yeah, so I think that's about it. I will see y'all again in the near future. Bye.